Hey guys, Luxker here, and oh my gosh, Winter! There's been so much Xenosaga stuff that released in the past 6 months. It has been just insane, girl. Like, I can't even believe it. We got, like, fan stuff, we got official stuff. Like, I can't believe how much stuff there is. There's just, like, so much stuff going on right now.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. We're eating. It's like Christmas. It's unbelievable. It's like I haven't seen anything like this in like it feels like since Xenosaga came out, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
which it kind of is that in a way. So
I mean, we're celebrating a Christian holiday with a very Christian series. I do agree. So we're eating really good with Xenosaga. Like, just in 1 month alone, there's been like what? 3 major Xenosaga things that came out in general, and we're gonna be talking about that right here in this video in a new entry of Xeno News, a bi-yearly news series where we talk about Xenogears, Xenosaga, and the Xenoblade games. And I am joined by Winter Uzuki to talk about that, so say hi, Winter.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, alright, but let's go ahead and get started on the Xenosaga news. So, this major piece of Xenosaga news that just came out is regarding Xenosaga I+II DS. In case you don't know what that game is, it's actually a Japanese-only DS game that released in 2006. Fun fact about it, it's actually one of the last games released under the Namco branding before it changed to Bandai Namco, so very interesting release in Namco's history, or Bandai Namco's history for that matter. And so, Vector Translations, which is a translation group mainly geared towards Monolith soft-made games, announced a full non-AI English patch for Xenosaga I+II, and it's only covering the first 3 chapters of the game, which released the day after. I believe it's like March 30th that it released, or I think it's on the... Yeah, I think it's on the 30th, so... But I'm actually a part of their team right now. They've been making really good progress. I mean, they released the first 3 chapters of the game, but they're already on chapter 13 right now. They finished translating that as a rough translation. So they have literally 7 more chapters to go as of this recording, and oh my gosh, it's just they're just such a workhorse on this game, because this game was very infamous for not having anybody translate it for literal decades, like at least 2 decades. Nobody decided to join in on the translation, and it's very important that this game would have a fan translation, because a lot of the scripts in this game is actually really important for Xenosaga's lore, because not a lot of stuff from either Xenosaga 1 or 2 on the PS2 actually made it into, like, the games themselves, mainly because of, like, different writing preferences and Takahashi not being on the team for Xenosaga Episode 2, whereas Takahashi was on the scenario team for Xenosaga 1 and 2. And there was a lot more information on Xenosaga's lore that was added into the game. For instance, more information regarding Shion and Kevin's relationship. Not getting into spoilers, but it's very important to know that those sorts of scenarios before going into the finale of Xenosaga Episode 3. So, what do you think about this, Winter? I mean, I've actually played the first 3 chapters, and I found them really enjoyable. I love the gameplay, I love how it was translated with all the database stuff as well that was also translated. It's really cool fan project in particular.
I'm really excited for it. It's been something that has been an on-hold project for this for, like, the better part of, like, a decade, it feels like, and I know Valve's working on it. I think Valve's still pretty involved in this. The people at Vector Translations, they are doing very, very good, very diligent work. I've been following them in their Discord, and it's been a very steady progress with this thing, and it's exciting. I haven't played it myself personally. I am waiting for the entire game to come out. I feel like that's gonna be the way that I digest this, but I'm really excited for when it actually comes out.
Yeah, I mean, the actual people who are translating and ROM hacking, all of them are fans of the series and wanted to see this all the way through, so it's very cool to see their progress of them going through, and they've been doing a fantastic job. I will say, too, regarding a timeline, regarding the full release of the game, right now, like I said, they're on Chapter 13 right now, as of this recording, and they need to finish the rest of the 7 chapters, and then it will be kind of like a rough translation, in case there's, like, any typos and stuff, and then there would be probably, like, a year of playtesting and other ROM hacking and stuff, just to make the game feel as complete, like a actual English localized version of the game that fans would enjoy regarding the Xenosaga series. And my estimation when it would release is would be sometime next year, like late next year, and I'm definitely anticipating this game, and I'll even make a follow-up video on this game when it fully releases, because I feel like this is a really big deal. Like, we never seen, like, a full translation or, like, English patch of Xenosaga 1 and 2 until now. And I feel like it's just
true.
Really important. So...
The most we've had are people who know Japanese who've played the game and telling us what the changes and differences are. That's pretty much as I feel like we've had of Xenosaga 1 and 2. There's been, like, the interim patch. There was a work in progress one a while back that was available, but it was, like, on hiatus for a really long time. And I think this is, like, the last real bit of, like, any extra story or anything like that to be translated outside of, like, the lore books and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, in terms of, like, the actual games, I think this is it. Like, in terms of what we have available to us.
Yeah. Yeah, just really good stuff. And if you want to play this game, like, on an emulator or a flash card, in the link in the description, there's, like, a Google Drive or a mega file that you can go to download the beta patch. And like I said, it does go up to Chapter 3 of the game, so it's not the full version, but once everything is play-tested and everything like that, we will see a full release, so very much anticipating it, so...
Do you know for this ROM, if you play through the first 3 chapters, if it, like, stops your progress, or if it just keeps going but is, like, in Japanese?
Good point. There is a text box that comes up after the end of Chapter 3 that tells you that this is the end of the fully translated part of the demo, but you can keep continuing if you want to, so, like, it's like playing, like, a demo for an RPG. It will tell you that, like, this is the end of the demo. You can go ahead and check out the rest of the game on the eShop, and if you want to purchase it. Whereas in this one, it will tell you that, like, the rest of the game will remain untranslated until the full thing comes out. So it's a really unique case of ROM hacking that, like, it'll tell you, like, this is the end, you can't go any further, so yeah, good point there, Winter.
And
so
I had also another question. So I know that, like, for DS games, I know that a lot of times their saves are saved on the cartridge, and I'm not sure how emulators handle that, but is there a way, once the full release comes out, for me to transfer my save over if I did decide to check it out early?
Yeah, so...
Or...
I'm pretty sure there is, if you're playing it on, like, a flash cart, for instance, that, like, there are ways to, like, move your save out of the flash cart and onto your PC, and then transfer it onto, like, the full version as well, and I think it should still work the same way. I mean, there still needs to be testing done with the version, like, we still haven't yet started playtesting yet, so... But yeah, it's a good point. I'll make sure to bring it up to the playtesters as well, so... But yeah, really good stuff going on. But I think probably the biggest, even bigger than this fan translation, it got a lot of attention when it first was announced. But I think an even bigger announcement that came out from Xenosaga was the official release of Xenosaga Pied Piper on PC and Switch. So, I already made a video on this back in April because it was such a huge deal at the time that, like, Xenosaga Pied Piper, the original phone game that released on Vodafone and iMode, is finally getting a full release, Japanese only, so there's no English patch quite yet for the game. But it's a really cool, like, way of playing Pied Piper without needing, like, Keitai World Emulator, or just playing the fan recreation, which I still recommend playing the fan recreation. I have a Let's Play on it right now. So the G-Mode release of this game, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. So they have like a few things that they have written down on their Steam page. They mentioned that the storyline was written by Tetsuya Takahashi and Sorya Saga, so the G-Mode did do their homework regarding the history of this game, so really glad about it. But I want to talk about the series overview that they have on the Steam page. A port of the classic title originally released in 2006 for feature phones, part of the Bandai Namco acclaimed JRPG series Xenosaga. A spin-off of the Xenosaga trilogy, and part of the Xeno Meta series. The story follows the human life of Cyborg Ziggy, a key character in the Xenosaga trilogy, a century before the events of Xenosaga Episode 1, D'Urville Surmat. So, I'm going to be talking about this a little bit later on. This is like, the Steam page in particular mentions what's called the Xeno Meta series officially, and this is an official, like, release. Like, Bandai Namco was a part of this release as well. It's not just G-Mode that was, like, a part of it. So, like, Bandai Namco did, like, at least play a part in this as well. But G-Mode and Bandai Namco calling it the Xeno Meta series is very interesting to me. But the game retails now at $16. On the Switch version, you actually have to go to the Japanese eShop. It's not in eShops for other countries, so you actually have to buy, like, a Japanese eShop card to do this. I actually had to go through a roundabout way to purchase this game myself. You just have to go on Amazon Japan, pay money for like a 20,000 yen card, and just buy the game that way on Switch. And bada bing, bada boom. That's how you did that. So
I have personally used PlayAsia in the past to buy eShop cards from Japan. So it usually takes like a few minutes before you get your code and stuff.
I actually find Amazon Japan to be a lot easier because they have more options for like different kinds of cards, because I believe on PlayAsia, I think it's like only like 80,000 yen cards that they sell, which is kind of strange to me. Like, I would rather prefer cards that are like lower prices, so. But yeah, this release in general is just really cool, and you can literally play it, like, on Switch or on Steam, which I would prefer playing it on Steam. But if you're a Switch-only person, you can do it that way. There is an English translation already in development right now by Valak Turtle. He made a comment on the release talking about it, and he says that an English patch is in development for both the original Pied Piper as well as the G-Mode version, because it's made in Unity. And right now, Unity is very easy to mod for, in particular. All those game creating software that are made in Unity, or like Unreal Engine, for instance, they typically are easy to mod in general compared to like in-engine software. So it's really, really easy to mod for, and Valak is in development for one right now. Still trying to do other projects at the same time for vector translations, but he said this is definitely a priority because of this just releasing, and only it being in Japanese. So now that the G-Mode version of Xenosaga Pied Piper released, a few people who were involved in it actually made some comments here. So one of the programmers for Xenosaga Pied Piper, his name is Hiramine Tsutomu. He actually made a comment regarding the G-Mode release and how it brought back a lot of memories for him. Like, he's been really waiting for its return as well, because he never thought that like a game that he helped program, like, wouldn't come back either way. So that's really cool that just one of the programmers was like really happy about its release. Same thing with Choco. He was actually in charge of creating the title logo for the game, which I actually didn't know until I read this tweet. So it's really cool that like Choco also played a part in this thing, and and he was really happy about it being re-released on Gmode. And then, I think the most important, like, quote of them all is actually from one of Monolith Soft's producers, which is Tomohiro Hagiwara. So this translation comes from Koopa Stifo from the Vector Translations Discord server, just as a way of, like, showing, like, the authenticity of it. And something interesting was pointed out in this in particular, so let me go ahead and read the quote real quick. I am Hagiwara, a Xenosaga producer. We are pleased to announce that Xenosaga Pied Piper, originally launched as a feature model phone game, is now part of Gmode archives. This title, for which Monolith Soft was responsible for original story and scenario, is an ambitious work representing a part of the Xenosaga universe, and by extension, of the Xeno world. I'm gonna put that in air quotes right there, and I'll come back to it in a second. I believe that many people could not play it due to the platform unavailability. Being a game for some selected phones only, I'm really happy for this re-edition because it will allow to open the story up to a wider audience. The protagonist of the story is Jan Sauer, then known as Ziggy, which also appears in the Xenosaga main series. His past and inner struggles clearly depict not only Xenosaga's own themes, but Xeno world as a whole. We hope that those who already followed the series can rediscover the depths of that plot, and that newcomers play it as a new starting point for the Xeno world. Please don't miss this opportunity to dive yourselves into the Xeno world once again. Newsflash, Tomohiro Hagiwara, do not start with Xenosaga Pied Piper. At least if you want to get into the Xenosaga series, just play Xenosaga Episode 1 first.
I mean,
just saying.
It really isn't a very good starting point.
Yeah.
Really, because all the, like, dive technology and stuff is kind of, like, set up in Episode 1. And, like, they have some of that in, like, Pied Piper too. So
yeah,
it is really nice that, like, all these, like, people who had worked on the game in the past, it really meant something to them, and, like, they have a lot of things to say about it.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of reminds me of the people who start the Xenoblade series with Torna, and that's not even a good recommendation either, but I think starting with Pied Piper would be even worse if you were getting into the Xeno world as a whole, so yeah. Hagiwara has a pretty poor point there, but that's where I get into my next important point regarding this, and that's the actual, like, official title of the Xeno Meta series, or as Hagiwara puts it, the Xeno world, as it's known. This is the first time in, like, any official capacity that, like, the Xenoblade series actually became a mainstay theme, that, like, the Xeno Meta series or the Xeno world was said like this officially, and that makes me wonder if, like, if we do get, like, a eventual, like, Xenosaga trilogy port, or, like, a remake of the 3 games, that, like, the Monolith Soft will call them, like, as part of the Xeno world or the Xeno Meta series in that way. It's very interesting that it's kind of declared like that, in Monolith Soft's ways, and, like, it kind of means that, like, maybe we'll see something Xenosaga related on the horizon, like, in official capacity. I don't know if it's gonna be, like, a reimagining of the series, or, like, just straight up ports of the main trilogy, along with Pied Piper and A Missing Year, which are 2 important games if you want to understand the series. What, don't you think the same way, Winter?
It's hard, because it's like, we'll see. I'm optimistic for the future of the series, but I'm also, like, I guess what I'm really surprised is that they did choose Pied Piper, and that it is, like, really the first Xenosaga game to be available, like, digitally like that.
Oh yeah, to be widely available to audiences now, so...
Because it feels like a year ago, that game was accessible to, like, an amount of people that you could count on the fingers of one hand. Who knows, really? It's just really surprising that it is this story. Like, that is this game that is the one. Not saying that it didn't need it. It probably needed it more than the other games, for sure. But, like, very shocking, and it's...
yeah.
a large part because like I know the fans really did lobby for this. They were there for every poll that Gmode put out for people wanted, and it was kind of clear that the interest was there, at least by those fans.
There was a lot of interest for that game, and I already pointed this out in my Let's Play series that, like, Xenosaga Pied Piper's history, was also, part of Gmode's history as well, with their fan polls and stuff, and, like, how many Xeno fans lobbied for this game to come out, to finally release. Unfortunately, Gmode was, like, at least 1 year late, but at the same time, it's now available in an official capacity and widely available to a lot of people that wants to try out the Xenosaga series and just see what the hubbub was about. Although I don't recommend starting with this game, I recommend waiting for a English patch as well. Do not play this game in Japanese. Unless if you have, like, the script right in front of you, because you will not be able to understand this game if you don't know Japanese, so...
Did you buy the PC port?
Yes, like I said earlier, I bought the PC port on Steam, as well as the Switch version as well, so...
Okay.
Yep.
How's, like, the controller support on Steam?
I didn't actually really test it on Steam at all. I actually watched, Wate, play through the game, and... He said it controls fine. I mean, it's just because it's used...
That's good.
Because it's using Unity, and their controller support is pretty universal, because, like, they can gear the controller support towards Steam, which can read your controllers anyway, so...
I remember it being kind of weird on, like, the Keitai launcher, like, when the game first got preserved, and that was, like, the way to check it out.
Yeah.
At that time. And it was very weird because you had to use, like, certain keys on your keyboard, and, like, they were mapped to, like, virtual phone keys, which were emulating a real phone, and that was really weird to me, but, like, it sounds like it's all good to go.
Yeah, it's not the most comfortable way to play this game, so, but I'm glad that the Keitai Wiki was able to figure out the controls as well. There's a lot of options as well. I really hope the English patch comes out very soon. Valak Turtle, if you're watching this, please release this when this video releases, please! So, yeah. Alright, let's go on to the next news story, which is something that I played a part in. So, in case you don't know, Tyler Origin Talkie from Xenochat was a part of making, or remaking, I would say, Xeno-Comi, which is kind of a little comic that was included in Xenosaga Freaks that had, multiple chapters of, regarding the characters of the game. So, most of the chapters were completed, from Siggy, Chaos, Junior, Kosmos, and Momo's. But there's 2 chapters originally for the longest time that haven't been translated into Ren'Py yet. One of them happened to be Shion's chapter, which was the one that just released back at the end of April to celebrate Xenosaga Freaks' anniversary. And honestly, for longtime fans of the series who've been keeping up with the translation of Xeno-Comi, this is kind of a big deal because they were waiting a very, very long time for this, like at least over a decade, and Jintoki apologized about like the long wait. Things haven't been going really well for the translators, Kairi Reiko lately, as well as Jintoki, who was like incredibly busy, but he eventually went around to translating the game into Ren'Py, and I was also part of the playtesting team. There are a lot of bugs in the game that I found, and a lot of typos as well. I already mentioned this in the Xenochat podcast, which I will have linked in the video down below, but one of the biggest bugs I actually found was in Shion's chapter. She, I won't spoil, like, the actual thing that happened, but she teleports into, like, a house where Momo is at, and when she teleports into that area, the freaking game crashed.
Oh, no.
Like, I saw, like, a game crash screen, and, luckily I was able to get past it by just pressing the enter key, but it just caught me off guard, and it was a really funny bug that I found that, like, when Shion dives into the thing, this crash screen happens, like the whole program crashed or something. I just found that really funny, and I even mentioned that in the podcast itself. But yeah, this is a really big deal, just having this released. Anybody that wants to try this out, I will have the link in the description to the chapter in the description of this video. And up next, is Alan's chapter, which Jintoki will be hard at work on that as well. So, what are your thoughts on this, Winter? I know you were really anticipating this release, right?
Yes, I know that Tyler's been working on it for a while, and that it's not something that I know that he's been able to work on, like, consistently, but it is exciting. It's so insane, all of the stuff that we've been getting. It's like, it feels like for a long time, Xenosaga didn't really have, like, translators or people who were dedicated to it.
Right.
But it feels like they're just all here now. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This has been a really cool release in particular. I definitely really love Xeno-Comi stuff. It's a really interesting little, like, side series to the actual Xenosaga formula, and
yeah, it's a lot more lighthearted. I know Tyler did say that he was running it on his Steam Deck.
Yep.
And that it ran perfectly fine, and so if you wanted to check it out on a PC handheld or something like that, then it's good to go on that front.
Yeah, it's just really cool that he was able to release it, so but yeah, cannot wait to see when playtesting for Alan's chapter happens, and I will be there for it. I will also have, like, a video talking about Xeno-Comi in particular, because I haven't really found a lot of videos talking about it and how interesting it is, and I'm actually planning on having a video coming out for this in the future, when Alan's chapter on Ren'Py officially releases, so please look forward to that whenever that comes out.
Yeah, it's actually, like, there's not that much Xenosaga Freaks content in general. Like, it used to be, you could probably get it now, but it used to be hard to even find the soundtrack of the game compared to the other Xenosaga games.
Oh yeah.
Like,
because it's such a remote piece of, like, Xenosaga history that not a lot of people at the time knew about, so...
Yeah.
But yeah.
I actually don't own Freaks. I should get that someday.
Well, luckily I do have it, because I really do like Xenosaga Freaks a whole lot, which hopefully I'll talk about in a video in the future, so... But yeah, but anyways, our last piece of Xenosaga news, yeah, there's been a lot of Xenosaga news that happened in this past year, but it actually has to do with the soundtrack of Xenosaga. First and foremost, across the Kosmos, you know, that piano arrangement that released on the Kickstarter last year, now you can be able to purchase that both physically and digitally. You can buy the vinyls, you can buy, like, all the extra stuff that was there, like the CDs as well, and the cool little art whatever that's on it too. Including the interviews that are in the booklet as well that I showed in the Miriam Abanasser video. Unfortunately, the music box is out of stock, so, I mean, if you want to see Kokoro, watch Wate's video, which I have in the description down below. But, yeah, this is really cool that they officially released this, finally, in any capacity, as well as you being able to stream it on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music as well. So it's really cool that you're finally available to listen to this. Have you listened to Across the Cosmos piano collection yet, Winter?
I did when they first gave us the MP3s.
Yep.
That was when I listened to it. It'll be way more convenient to listen to it now that it's on Apple Music, because I will definitely take advantage of that. I actually did not know that, so I did not know they actually released it on streaming platforms, so that is nice.
Yeah.
I had a few friends that went to the concert, and they said it was pretty pretty cool, pretty small and intimate because of the crowd being like some people were there.
It's because the concert was only in Paris, and not a lot of people have access to going to Paris at all, just to see a Xenosaga concert for one night. So, but there was almost a full house too. So
the music is nice.
It's just very incredible stuff. The piano arrangement is really good. If you're really into piano at all, and like you just want to listen to Xenosaga music, and here you go. This is a really cool arrangement album that's available on streaming, and you can purchase it physically or digitally. But we're not done with soundtracks yet, because Xenosaga II movie scene soundtrack, as well as Xenosaga III's original best soundtracks by Yuki Kajira, did a reprint, and it was just happening this year for some strange reason. Like, I don't know what it is that about this year in Xenosaga so far, but they happen to re-release these two soundtracks physically now, and it's actually kind of funny because I always thought that like both Xenosaga 2 and 3 still got physical reprints, but apparently not. Like, this is like the third or fourth reprint of these, and apparently it's a very there's a lot of hype around it, right, Winter?
Yes. So has it been reprinted more than once? I felt like
no, it's been reprinted more than once, because if I remember correctly, there was a reprint I want to say earlier this decade, and then there was one sometime in the last decade, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
That makes sense. For people that don't know, the rights holders to these soundtracks and music is JVC Kenwood, a gigantic rights holder who's been in the music industry for like 100 years. So that is like the double-edged sword of the rights belonging to a big, gigantic company like this, is that re-releases are probably a little bit more likely, but also it makes it hard for like content creators and people who use the music in YouTube videos, podcasts, stuff like that, because they're very litigious. So
yeah, it's not fun. And I heard that whenever they release or reprint the soundtracks, that like you'll get copyright claims from JVC Kenwood. And, like, it's fully in their right to do that, but it really does suck that, like, they keep claiming the music despite all these being in fair use, so...
There were playthroughs that were, like, over a decade old that had been sitting there just fine, had thousands of views on them, and then they re-released the soundtrack, and then, like, half of the video is muted. You can't watch the cutscenes on YouTube anymore. And I know that for Xenosaga 2 specifically, that extra sucks because there's a little bit of a difference between like the US version and the Japanese version in terms of like what songs are used in the cutscenes. So it's hard to find a specific variant of a cutscene that you want to find.
Yeah.
These days. So that said, if you don't have these physicals, you should pick them up, because they're full of really great songs, and a lot of, like, some of the ones, especially on the movie soundtrack, I think there's a couple that were never released in the game, or weren't ever used in the game. So, yeah, absolutely worth owning.
These are really cool releases. Maybe I'll pick up episode 3's soundtrack later on, because I really love the OST.
Yeah, I hope it drives down the cost, because I know episode 3's soundtrack in particular, like on the used market, has gone for some decent amount of money. Usually it's like in the $80 range is where I kind of see it. I also am not sure if I'm not sure if Xenosaga 3 has been reprinted. I'm like certain that Xenosaga 2 has. I don't remember Xenosaga 3 having been reprinted, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'll put some text on the screen to show that if it did get reprinted, I'll be able to put that there. But It's really cool that these got reprinted, but I think for collectors in particular, there's actually like a little memory card case that comes with episode 2's movie scene OST. That like it's just there just to carry your memory cards. There's like text on it that says Xenosaga. I think they have it like gold foil, or maybe it's just the lighting or something, but it's kind of a neat little collector's item in particular that like not a lot of Xenosaga fans know about. And I believe you have this, right, Winter?
Yeah, I have the memory card case. I don't know if if it comes with the reprint or not. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Because nobody, I say nobody, but I literally was messing with my PS2 earlier today, but most people are not messing with their memory cards these days.
Yeah, it was mainly there just for the people who still have a PS2 and also have bought the soundtrack for episode 2 back in the day and just want a place to keep your PS2 memory cards. So it's a really neat bonus in particular that, like, I don't think a lot of people really know about. So I don't know if it does come with the reprint at all. If, in case I'm wrong, please leave a comment who actually bought this reprint right here. If it does come with the memory card cases, but it's not very likely that they did because of the fact that, like, nobody uses memory cards anymore, so. But yeah, that's literally it for all the Xenosaga news in general. We've been really eating good, Winter, and I really hope this continues because, like, man, I mean, we already got, like, 3 pieces of Xenosaga news just all in April alone, and it just feels like Xenosaga is just becoming, like, the Renaissance series that we desperately needed, because this is an amazing series. I always recommend my friends who played the Xeno games to try checking out Xenosaga, and yeah, it's just, from the fan side as well as the official side, there's the future looks very bright for Xenosaga. So anything else you want to add at all, Winter, before we sign out for the night?
Yeah, just that, like, I'm glad that there's a lot more accessibility for the series. It's been, like, the only, like, piece of Xeno that you couldn't get, like, digitally, like, even unless you had a PS2 or the actual discs. And
yeah, an official capacity.
You couldn't even play, like, versions from other regions because the PS2 is also region locked. So it's very, the time that we're living in right now is kind of insane, considering, like, Pied Piper was, like, lost media like a year ago.
Yeah.
And now it's just out there. You can buy it. Please buy it. Please support it.
Please support the series, man. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching all the way until the end. It's a bit of a long one in particular, but Winter, where can we find you at?
I am on Twitter, or I guess it's X now, Winter Uzuki, and I'm also on godsib.net. I am a co-admin on that website, and we work to preserve, and we have scans, and we do work to preserve, like, what we can of the Xeno series.
Yeah, Godsib, I wish I could go on that website very more, but my time is very fleeting, so hopefully I'll make a post on there someday, maybe when this video uploads, so. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching until the end. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share this video around, and don't forget to follow Winter Uzuki's socials as well. And until next time, see you on the other side!